Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Learn Law Buddy LLB. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the most important questions of Code of Civil Procedure Law which are expected to come in AIBE 19 exam. So let's start with the first question. First question is, when the revenue court is silent, which authority notify in the official gazette that which provision of the civil procedure code will apply or which not on revenue court? The answer is state government. Second question is, the amendments of 2002 were implemented based on the suggestions or advice of? Answer is Malimath Committee. Third question is, given that Mr. Ajay and Mr. Vijay jointly own a house with 2 floors, Mr. Ajay owning the first floor and Mr. Vijay owning the second floor, and Mr. Shivam has dispossessed both from the property, is Mr. Ajay entitled to file a lawsuit against Mr. Shivam independently? The answer is yes, because B is proper party. Fourth question is, what is the time frame within which the defendant in a commercial dispute must file the written statement, and if not filed within the initial 30 days, when is the latest permissible time for submission? The answer is 120 days. Fifth question is, from which types of orders can an appeal be filed under Order 43 of the Code of Civil Procedure? The answer is Rule 9 of Order 22, refusing to set aside the abatement or dismissal of suit. Sixth question is, when suing the government or a public officer in their official capacity, under what circumstances can a decree be enforced? Answer is execution of a decree is permissible only if it remains unsatisfied for a duration of 3 months. Seventh question is, how does the court's response when the served party refuses to acknowledge receipt of the summons at the time of the summons that is in hand service? The answer is reissues the summons to be served by the court. Eighth question is, in what scenario are alien enemies residing in India not allowed to sue in any competent court? The answer is when residing in India without permission or in a foreign country. Ninth question is, claims that can be joined for recovery of immovable property. The answer is all of the above. Mean profit, damages, redemption of mortgaged property. 10th question is, Mr. R and Mr. S were joint owners who were depossessed from their property by Mr. Q. Mr. decided to file a suit against Mr. Q. However, Mr. S denied it. Hence, Mr. S is a necessary party, so Mr. R included him as a defendant along with Mr. Q. So, Mr. S will be called. The answer is pro forma defendant. 11th question is, would a decree against a minor be set aside if the appointed guardian holds conflicting or adverse interest? The answer is yes, only when it is proved that due to the adverse interest, the interest of the minor is prejudiced. 12th question is, what happens to a suit in the event of the marriage of a female plaintiff or defendant? The answer is the suit can continue despite the marriage and can be proceeded well until judgment. 13th question is, under what circumstances would a court mandate the delivery of a summons through substituted service? The answer is when the defendant is difficult to locate or is awaiting service. 14th question is, if it's determined during a lawsuit that a deceased party lacks a legal representative, what measures can the court undertake upon an application from any party involved in the case? First, the court must dismiss the case due to lack of representation. Second, the court can proceed in the absence of the representative. Third, the court can appoint an officer of the court. Fourth, the court can appoint the administrator general. The answer is C. Second, third, and fourth. The court can proceed in the absence of a representative. Either the court can appoint an officer of the court or the court can appoint the administrator general. 15th question is, which entity has the authority to determine rules regarding alternative means of delivering a summon to a confined defendant? The answer is court. 16th question is, what is the mandatory requirement for a minor plaintiff seeking to abandon a suit? The answer is the minor plaintiff needs the court's permission to abandon the suit. 17th question is, as per section 89 of the Civil Procedure Code, if it appears to the court that element of a settlement exists outside the court through judicial settlement, then the court shall follow The answer is Provision of Legal Service Authority Act. 18th question is, as per Civil Procedure Code, in the case of any alleged breach of any express or constructive trust created of a charitable nature, the suit may be instituted in the answer is Principal Civil Code. 19th question is, who can exercise the power of Advocate General outside the Presidency towns regarding section 91 and 92 of the Civil Procedure Code with the previous sanction of the state government? The answer is Collector. 20th question is, to prevent the ends of justice from being defeated, the court may. The answer is all of the above. Issue a warrant to arrest the defendant, direct the defendant to furnish security, or appoint a receiver. Question 21 is, what is the maximum compensation amount that the court can award the defendant under this section? Answer is 50,000. 22 question is, which of the following statements is correct if a decree is passed by the small cause court and the value of the subject matter of the original suit is 8,000 and aggrieved party wants to appeal on the ground of question of law? The answer is appeal shall lie as the ground is of question of law. 23 question is, Ria plaintiff feels dissatisfied with the preliminary decree passed in her property dispute case. Despite her dissatisfaction, she decides not to file an appeal against the preliminary decree. Later, when the final decree is passed, Ria wishes to challenge the correctness of the preliminary decree. What are Ria's options regarding disputing the preliminary decree's correctness at this stage? The answer is Ria cannot challenge the correctness of the preliminary decree in the appeal against the final decree. 24th question is, which of the following types of errors or irregularities in the proceedings can result in reversal or substantial variation of a decree in an appeal? The answer is those not affecting the merits of the case or the court's jurisdiction. Next question is, in the property dispute case, Rahul and Karan jointly file a lawsuit against the Maya for the ownership rights of a plot. It is later discovered that Rahul has no direct interest in the property and was included mistakenly. Considering Order 1, Rules 1 and 3, what can be the consequences for Rahul's inclusion? The answer is Rahul's inclusion contravenes Order 1, Rules 1 and 3, making him a misjoinder of the parties. Next question is, under what circumstances shall an appeal lie to the High Court from a decree passed in appeal by a subordinate court? The answer is when the High Court is convinced that the case involves a substantial question of law. Next question is, what is the monetary limit specified for prohibiting a second appeal in cases of money recovery? The answer is 25,000 rupees. Next question is, an appeal from an order shall be allowed to which court when it is in the exercise of appellate jurisdiction? The answer is court to which an appeal would lie from the decree. Next question is, when a matter involves a question as to the validity of any act, ordinance or regulation, then to take the opinion of the High Court is dash of the trial court. The answer is discretionary. Next question is, under what circumstances is the review process applicable? The answer is all of the above. When a decree or order permits an appeal according to this code, yet no appeal has been filed. When a decree or order does not permit an appeal as per this code. When a decision is made based on a reference from a court of small causes. Next question is, Mahesh wrongfully possesses agricultural land for 5 years. During the possession earns rental income from the part of the land and he cultivates crops in another part of land and makes a well which significantly enhances the land's fertility and earns profit from it. According to the definition of mean profits, what is excluded from this scenario? The answer is the profits earned from the land's improved fertility. Next question is, what constitutes a foreign court as per Civil Procedure Code? The answer is a court situated outside India and not established or continued by the central government. Next question is, a legal dispute occurs over the rightful ownership of a religious office within a temple and the resolution hinges entirely upon religious ceremonies. How would the suit be classified under legal terms? The answer is as a civil suit even if its resolution relies on religious questions. Next question is, how does the pendency of a suit in a foreign court impact the courts in India concerning a suit with the same cause of action? The answer is, Indian courts can proceed with the suit regardless of the pendency in the foreign court. Next question is, an individual files a suit for property ownership in court A. Subsequently, another lawsuit regarding the same property between the same parties is initiated in court B, which delivers a judgment prior to court A based on the definition of a former suit, which court's judgment would qualify as a former suit as per above scenario. The answer is court B, which decided the suit before court A. Next question is, Mr. Sham was the owner of the property that was in his possession. Later, Mr. Sunil dispossessed Mr. Sham from that property. So, Mr. Sham filed a civil suit to claim possession of the property. He claimed that he is the owner of the property as it was gifted to him by his father. However, he was unable to prove this in court. Later, he filed another suit claiming that he has his father's will, which shows that the property belongs to him. Will Mr. Sham be barred under section 11 of the Civil Procedure Code? The answer is yes, Mr. Sham will be barred under explanation 4 of section 11. Next question is, what restriction applies when the plaintiff is prevented from filing another suit for a specific cause of action? The answer is, the plaintiff is precluded from instituting a suit in any court under this code for the same cause of action. Next question is, every suit shall be instituted in the court of. The answer is the lowest grade competent to try. Next question is, a property named Y is situated between the lands of Sehore and Bhopal. 30% of the property is covered by the land of Sehore and the remaining 70% is covered by Bhopal. If any dispute arises regarding property Y, in which court may the suit be instituted? The answer is any court of either Bhopal or Sehore. Next question is, the Supreme Court has the authority to dismiss any application under section 25 if it deems it to be frivolous or vexatious, can order to pay by way of compensation. The answer is not exceeding 2,000. Next question is, where the appellant has withdrawn the appeal preferred against a decree passes ex parte, the application under Order 9, Rule 13 of CPC shall be. The answer is maintainable. Next question is, A residing in Pune publishes in Gwalior statements defamatory of B. B may sue. The answer is either Gwalior or Pune. Next question is, a corporation named PQR enters into a contract with B and PQR breaches the contract in Bhopal. PQR has its principal office in Goa and branch in Indore. In which court can B institute a suit? Answer is either Bhopal or Goa. Next question is, the operation of the doctrine of res judicata is the transformation of a question of fact into the question of law. In which of the following cases this view was expressed? The answer is Radha Rani versus Binoda Moi. Next question is, at what stage the court may allow amendment of pleading under Order 6, Rule 17? The answer is any stage. Next question is, if a party himself wishes to appear as a witness, he shall appear before any other witness on his behalf has been examined. This statement is given under which order rule of Civil Procedure Code? The answer is Order 18, Rule 3A. Next question is, at what stage of a suit can the court recall a previously examined witness? The answer is at any stage of the suit. Next question is, if the judgment is not pronounced at once and it is not possible to pronounce it within 30 days, then the court will pronounce the judgment within dash days from the date on which the hearing of the case was concluded. The answer is 60 days. Next question is, after the passing of a decree, under what circumstances can the court order the payment of the decreed amount to be postponed or made by installments? The answer is on the application of the judgment debtor and with the consent of the decree holder. Last question is, what are the modes of paying money under execution of decree? The answer is all of the above. Deposit into the court, paid by such means or mode where you have a proof of your payment, paid by such means as the court directs. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, then please like, comment, share the video and do subscribe the channel and click on bell icon for the notification of more videos.